Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with a very busy daily comedy news. As I mentioned yesterday, the comedy dearth is over. It's busy. Shane Gillis making the rounds because he's hosting the ESPYs on Wednesday night. The Emmy Award nominations will be revealed today at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Just for Laughs, Montreal is back on Wednesday, so plenty to talk about. But let's start with some politics, okay? This is the part where Johnny Mac makes people mad. I'm just telling you what's going on. I pulled my punch yesterday. I'm trying not to chase people, but that one comedian, whew, dude, really? Anyway, Shane Gillis has commented on the Epstein files. Matt and Shane's secret podcast. The conversation turned to Epstein. Shane said, Epstein is innocent. McCusker said, turns out the guy was just a regular guy struggling in the world just like all of us. They joked about the situation a bit. Then Shane Gillis shared his thoughts about the president and said, it's like Trump talk. It's tough not to point some fingers. He got killed when you were president. You were there. I mean, there's so many photos of them chilling. The cope on Trump's innocent. The cope is pretty intense. Yeah, he did go to the island to just hang out with the staff. The staff said that. Was the staff 12? That's pretty funny. McCusker said they were never going to release it, meaning the files. Shane, did you see somebody brought it up in a meeting and Trump was like, are you still talking about Epstein? That's crazy. There's so much other stuff going on. I can't believe you're still bringing up Epstein. Are you serious? Get a life. You guys are obsessed with this. Nobody cares. It was so long ago. The guy killed himself and he was innocent. What the hell? Big story over the weekend you probably saw. Trump threatened to take away Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. Who do I root for in this fight? To catch you up, on Saturday night when you were probably doing something fun, Trump went on Truth Social and posted, because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interest of our great country, I'm giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. I feel like doing this is half-ass triumph. She's a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America, all caps, exclamation point. Rosie responded on her Insta saying, the president of the USA, no caps at all there, has always hated the fact that I see him for who he is, a criminal con man, a sexual abusing liar, out to harm our nation to serve himself. This is why I moved to Ireland, still no caps. He's a dangerous old soulless man with dementia who lacks empathy, compassion, and basic humanity. I stand in direct opposition all he represents, so do millions of others. You, with a U, get to deport all who stand against your you are evil tendencies. You're a bad joke who can't form a coherent sentence. No apostrophe in the can't, no capitals at all as far as I can tell. Rosie followed that up with a post of Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and wrote, you lie, you steal, you degrade, I nurture, I create, I persist. You are everything that's wrong with America, and I'm everything you hate about what's still right with it. You want to revoke my citizenship? Go ahead and try. King Joffrey with a tangerine spray tan. In case you're not hip to that reference, King Joffrey is the bad guy on Game of Thrones. King Joffrey with a tangerine spray tan. I'm not yours to silence. I never was. Rosie O'Donnell currently lives in Ireland. Under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, birthright citizenship is protected and cannot legally be revoked by the president. Rosie is in the process of getting her citizenship in Ireland. Tim Dillon also had some thoughts on all this, but I'm going to let you listen to Tim Dillon's podcast. I don't want to encounter any men in suits wearing sunglasses, so I'm not going there. Tim said some stuff. Check it out. Andrew Schultz is getting ripped for being like, I can't believe Trump didn't do what he said. No way, Andrew. Really? No way. Johnny Mac doesn't suffer fools. Again, vote for whoever you want, but dude, really? You look stupid, Andrew. The Pretenders made a surprise appearance at Bill Burr's comedy show in London last week. Pretenders singer Chrissie Hynde shared the news on Facebook, saying that Bill Burr had asked the Pretenders to join him for a few tunes at his show at the Hammersmith Odeon. One of the songs they played was, of course, wrong, Motorhead's Ace of Spades, because Burr had seen Motorhead play Ace of Spades at the same venue 40 years ago. The Pretenders also covered How Do You Get Your Money, Honey by AC/DC and Judas Priest's Breaking the Law. Setlist.fm said they ended the night with the Pretenders' classic Don't Get Me Wrong. Bill Burr got behind the drum kit for the performance. Chrissie Hynde said, I was thinking he could tell jokes, but can jokes play drums? The answer is yes, they can. Bill nailed it. The performance was the first by the Pretenders since May. They currently have no other shows on the schedule for 2025. Did you watch It's Always Sunny? The first two episodes are really strong. Episode 1, the Abbott crossover, very, very funny. And there's a clip on social media making the rounds that I won't spoil for you, but if you see it, click on it. Rob Mack Told the New York Times his initial vision for the show was like bizarro friends. He said, if the theme of Friends is I'll be there for you, friends that are with each other thick and thin, no matter what the circumstances are, then Always Sunny is about the idea of friends that would never be there for each other, that would sell each other out at a moment's notice and were always looking out for themselves well before they were looking out for anyone else. A group of people so detestable, all they have is one another because no one else will be friends with them. I think you could be friends with Charlie. Charlie's a little weird, but I think you could be friends with Charlie. Ronnie Chang is joining the cast of King of the Hill. He will take over as the voice of Khan. Toby Huss voiced the character during the initial 13 seasons from 1997 to 2010. Season 14 begins airing August 4th, or so they say. This could be like the Bob's Burgers conspiracy. By then, there's exhibition football on, so Fox might be like, yeah, there's a brand new King of the Hill and another season of Bob's Burgers on tonight at 8 o'clock, and we're all watching the Cowboys over on CBS or something. I know how this goes. The U.S. version of Have I Got News for You comes back to CNN on September 6th. However, Michael Ian Black is getting a podcast spinoff of it. It's called Have I Got News for Your Ears. Somebody's been paying attention to the Daily Show Ears edition, I think, although maybe the British podcast was called this and maybe the Daily Show ripped them off. Johnny Mac, do your research, will you? Who knows? This podcast features Michael Ian Black, joined by a rotating cast of guests and behind-the-scenes players to break down the week's headlines and offer a peek into the inner workings of the show. Think of it as the Backstage Pass version of the TV show, less buttoned up, more unfiltered. All right, that's fun. The debut episode has Michael Ian Black teaming up with the show's executive producer for a no-holds-barred rip on the news of the week, followed by an interview with Jimmy Mulville. Who's that? He's the creator of the original UK version. New episode's out on Wednesday. Uh-oh, it's going to get canceled. You know why? Oh, no, don't take this curse on. You know who the guest is? Andy Richter, killer of shows. Andy Richter almost killed Conan O'Brien. And the second time successfully did kill Conan O'Brien, Tonight Show. Don't have Andy Richter on anything. Look up the IMDb, folks. Should we do it? Sure, let's do it. He's got a zillion credits on the IMDb. I'm on his wiki. He was on Late Night with Conan O'Brien for 7 years, leaving the show May 26, 2000. He said, after 7 years of being on the show, I got itchy. And that's when Late Night got good. He got a show on Fox, Andy Richter Controls the Universe, canceled after 2 mid-season runs. His next Fox sitcom, Quintuplets, remember that one? No, you don't. Lasted 1 season. 2007, Andy Barker P.I., remember that one? Co-written by Conan O'Brien. Richter played an accountant who couldn't attract clients. Remember that show? No, you don't. It aired on NBC. It was canceled. Entertainment Weekly called it one of the top 10 shows of 2007. Then, Andy Richter joined The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien. We all know how that went. In 2010, Andy Richter was considered to be the host of Pyramid, not picked up by the network. In 2013, Richter signed on to host a game show called Step Up, ordered by Fox. Remember that one? Me neither. I don't think it happened. In 2017, he hosted Big Fan on ABC. Remember that one? Me neither. You get the idea. Anyway, Michael Ian Black, don't do it. There's a curse. Avoid the curse. Speaking of Michael Ian Black, did you see the new Superman? It's really good. Go see the new Superman. Whoever marketed the new Superman did a terrible job. They made the whole interview scene with Lois Lane look like something it isn't. They made the dog annoying in the trailers. The dog's awesome. One of the best parts of the movie. The new Superman is the bomb. You should go see it. Michael Ian Black has a Substack, so do I. Mine is linked in the show notes. Michael Ian Black's is not linked in the show notes. Black says, here's the thing. I'm in the new Superman. It's a tiny part. I play Clevis Thornweight, who is basically Tucker Carlson, only with the initial CT instead of TC. I think that was pretty obvious as I watched it. James Gunn, the director, offered me the part, which was extremely kind of him. Considering we didn't know each other or anything, he just asked if I wanted to be in Superman. I said, do I play Superman? He said, I did not. I accepted nonetheless. The reason I bring this up is to acknowledge for a moment how strange it is to play even a small part in a summer blockbuster, writes Michael Ian Black. My whole career has been spent making obscure television shows and movies that very few people ever see. I remember Michael was on the wonderful show Ed, starring Tom Cavanaugh, who is one of the founding members of the Mac Pack. I really hope someday Ed comes out on DVD or Blu-ray or streaming or something. Would love to watch that show again. I do have MP3 files on one of the laptops here, but, that's like an effort. I just want to hit play. Black says, every now and then, something I do garners a teeny bit of mainstream attention, but for the most part, it's been 30 years of, shall we say, less than mainstream fare. After so many years in show business, it's unusual to have a new experience. This is a new experience. I've already noticed a huge uptick in social media engagement. People are messaging me. Text from folks I haven't heard from in a while. It's nice. Oh, that happens, Michael Ian Black. You're in show business. You know that. When you're hot, suddenly everybody's your friend, and in between gigs, nobody knows your name. You know how that goes. Black says, contrast that with the engagement I normally get when I appear in something, which is almost total silence, not because people don't like the stuff I make, only that they've never seen it. Fair enough. I've long grown accustomed to laboring in the basic cable comedy mines. All right, the Emmy nominations are out at 11:30 today. Nate Bargatze is this year's Emmy host. Out today on the 800-Pound Gorilla YouTube channel at 7 Central. Ariel Elias, a Jewish star. Also, Ariel will be in the live chat if you want to hang out. Speaking of Nate Bargatze, one story ago, and leave it in, there was that big celebrity golf tournament over the weekend. Nate Bargatze spoke with RGJ.com. He compared playing golf to being on stage, saying, you learn to get comfortable out here. Once you get comfortable with everybody out here, then it's a lot of fun. It's all on you. So when it goes bad, it's all on you. No one's coming to rescue you. I think that's why comics tend to like golf. It's because of that. You're just by yourself. He didn't realize his SNL appearances would change everything. He said, I didn't think it would go what it did, but it changed everything. If he goes back, he says he will do a third Washington sketch. Colin Jost was also golfing, and he's also in the upcoming Nate Bargatze movie, The Breadwinner. Nate said, I tried to make sure it got wrapped before this tournament. I think it's going to be a great movie. It's funny, and I look forward to doing more. Nate was paired with Charles Barkley and Larry the Cable Guy on Friday, and with Joe Buck and Justin Gethje on Saturday. Charles Barkley said, me and Larry, the cable guy, are like twin brothers now. I play with Larry every year. Me and Nate, I got to spend some time with Nate, but you think about it, I get to play with those two guys who are amazing at what they do in their life. Normally, I wouldn't get to play golf. I get to play golf with some superstars for 3 days. Rob Riggle got in on this convo and said, they're all laughing. Go, cable guy. We're not afraid. You can do it. And he's like, they won't listen to me. I beg them to move, and they don't. Then he puts a hotline drive right into the gallery, and he always feels terrible. Larry said, I was the only celebrity that week to make the Golf Channel and Core TV on the same day. A lot of people have names for their drivers. I call mine Exhibit A. Good joke, Larry. Brian Baumgartner from The Office said there isn't a fairway that I'm walking down or a green that I'm walking off of where somebody doesn't mention something about chili to me. If you know, you know. We're 20 minutes in. I can't explain that one to you. If you know, you know. Cable Guy says he always tells his playing partners to brace themselves. You're going to hear get her done about 7,800 times during the course of the round. Ray Romano. His goal was to break 80. He said, if you ask around, they'll tell you I'm the most anal with rules. Everything counts. Everything goes in the hole. No gimmies, no mulligans, no nothing. So when I break 80, it's for real. In 2010, Romano had to make a 3-foot putt to finish with a 79. Comedian Tom Dressen gets on the loudspeaker. Ray said, he got the loudspeaker, told the audience, Romano's about to break 80, and I missed the putt. Ray said, they don't think we take it seriously, but I can guarantee you, everybody in the tournament, even though it doesn't show, they're taking it seriously. It's not life and death. It's not your living, but we want to perform. We want to beat the next guy. We want to look at the standings at the end of the day and see we have a respectable score. And that is your comedy news for today. And I bounced stuff, too. I could already pre-tape the weekend. I've got so much stuff, which is great. If you enjoy the show, tell a friend about it. They might like it, too. If you would like the program without commercial interruptions or feed drops or that other stuff, good way to do that is go to caliroga.com/plus, or if you're on Apple Podcasts, click the banner short version, $5 a month. You get this show and a bunch of others commercial free. Have you checked out Alligator Alcatraz yet? That's my new favorite thing. It's my company. I didn't make it at all. I can't remember. Either Mark had the idea on his own, or I texted him and said, how come you haven't made Alligator Alcatraz yet? I may have texted him that, or I may be Brian Williamsing this thing and imagining I texted him. Anyway, Alligator Alcatraz, a lot of fun. Check it out. See you tomorrow.